she's the author of the acclaimed food travel memoir, Untangling My Chopsticks, A Culinary Sojourn in Kyoto. She's also studied tea ceremony cuisine in Japan, as well as classic French cooking at Le Cordon Bleu. Victoria Abbott Riccardi. Next, he's CNN's peppery anchorman with a delicious wit and a constant hunger for the next big story. Anderson Cooper. And finally, an insightful culinary journalist for Food Arts Magazine of Japan, Akiko Katayama. Over here with Chef Donaside. Take a look at this tool that Chef Daniela is working on right now.
It's a little cutting tool that only goes into the very outer layer of that calcium shell.
Taking the tops off the eggs very gently, I guess to be filled with something later, perhaps?
Now that we've gotten down to this part of the competition, Mr. Cooper from CNN, are you slobbering at the chops?
The smell in this room is just incredible, and there's so many different sort of blends of flavors I think we're going to expect. It's fascinating to watch both these men work. This is fantastic.
It is fantastic indeed. Of course, the only way to know is to go up and ask them. Akiko, what's going through your head right now?
I think what Mr. Morimoto is using is kind of half Japanese, half American, really positive fusion cooking. So I'm looking forward to trying all the texture, the balance of texture and the flavors.
Mr. Cooper from CNN, what are you getting hungry for?
I'm surprised you can still hear anything that you're saying because my stomach is grumbling so loudly. Iron Chef Morimoto is so sort of multi-layered, and the ingredients he's using, I'm fascinated to see how it all blends together. And also the autumnal flavors, I think, that Chef Donna is working on. I'm fascinated to see how he uses that pumpkin.
Well, I've got a feeling you're going to be eating out of that pumpkin before the day is over. Victoria Riccardi, what are you smelling that interests you?
Morimoto seems to be taking some fairly unusual approaches in terms of souffle and using rice paper wrappers, things that come from all around the world, in fact, whereas Chef Donna is doing what you might expect for a Japanese chef to do. I'm seeing much more traditional use of ingredients in terms of the Italian and staying with that style.
So Chef Donna is turning Japanese.
Exactly.
And Morimoto's the international man of culinary mystery.
Right, but it's exciting and I can't wait to taste.
Well, we'll be sending it up to you shortly.
Chef Donna, it was very exciting to watch you cook today.
Oh, it was exciting to be here.
Now, I have a question.
Yes.
You were only able to plate 2 of the 5 dishes. What happened?
We push it, you know, because of the ingredients. We try to work the other ingredients more, and but we for sure 5 minutes. So, but we have 2 dishes that we prepare, and those they should reflect what the style of the cuisine we want to present to our judges today. My cuisine is to keep the root in back home in Italy, you know. That's why I'm here in this country, to let the American taste the real flavor of Italy.
Excellent. May we begin?
Yes.
Please tell us about your dishes.
So this one is just a carpaccio, you know, with a little bit of Toscan olive oil and a touch of ginger and hot pepper, with fresh fennel and frisee on the top, and on the bottom, because this is a Toscan dish, we have a puree of chickpeas mounted with Toscan olive oil and a little bit of chives oil around. You should put the all ingredients together each time you taste it, so you can really enjoy the flavor of Tuscany and enjoy the freshness of the sea scallops.
I love the chickpea. I think it's got a very strong, nice, savory flavor. I have to say, though, that I think it almost overwhelms the flavor of the scallop, which is very delicate, but the scallop is a tiny bit lost for me.
Independently, every single piece of this dish is really great, but I think the frisee and the fennel, it's a little bit overwhelming for that delicate flavor of the scallops. It's a little too strong.
Okay.
It's delicious. I love the chickpea, and I taste some of the scallop, and I think the blending of it is really wonderful. The presentation is nice. I think it's lovely. It's something I would never have expected, all these flavors blending so well together.
Okay, this dish in honor of the scallop and in honor of my grandmother. My grandmother used to prepare the scrambled eggs with tomato and the scallops, and then put it on top of the soft polenta. Okay, so we just did it a little bit different presentation. We took the polenta and we dried it in very thin layer. And then we have the scallops sauteed just in olive oil, and on the bottom there is the scrambled eggs with tomato and a little bit of mozzarella.
I really enjoy the texture of the scallops, meaning I was able to feel softness inside, but outside was just really crisp. The only thing is because of the size of this, the egg, I wish it was more concentrated because it was really mild, but I think it was beautiful.
This, I think, works really beautifully because of the creamy custard-like flavor of the egg, that you get that little prick of the tomato with the acid that is a really nice counterpoint with the sweetness of the scallop. A very cute presentation, too.
Chef Donna, Thank you for sharing your skills with us today.
Oh, my pleasure. And I hope I'm going to have the chance to come back again for a revenge.
You will.
Thank you very much.
Morimoto-san,
Hi.
what was your inspiration for today's secret ingredient?
Okay, I speak Japanese. Sorry.
My main theme was actually a fusion of sweetness. Onion and daikon have a very natural sweetness, and that goes pretty well with scallops. I'm not talking about sweetness of sugary things, but natural sweetness. This is my bento box. This is a little base scallop with sake, soy sauce, and butter. And I've also added a nice scallop broth. Oh, and then there's a miso sauce on it. This is mozzarella. Burrata is an Italian cheese. And then there's also fresh salmon eggs and some nice bay scallops and fresh wasabi and soy sauce. And then there's a spring roll with mango sauce, rice paper on the outside, and